OG's going to be pretty much aware that Viking's looking for action. Maybe not aware enough though. Sumail, he's put the pass. They do still get him with the Dragon Tail stun. See if there's going to be any backup in time for Sumail. There isn't. They get on top of the Drow. They bring him down. See if they can get more out of this. They turn over towards Topson. Topson just frontlining it, but the damage is too high. He charges straight back in. And just like that, Viking, against a 20k gold lead of OG, they've just taken down 2 cores plus no tail. I mean, against the odds here, Viking showing they've still got it to tackle OG despite their strength of their cores. Mispositioning costing OG everything there, as maybe Viking can still pull something out against this incredible lead that OG has had for the first 20 minutes of the game.
Well, let's find out what's going to happen in this exciting Game 3. We're heading over to our commentary team of ODPixel and Fog.
You could also see them where I feel like OG's draft is like pretty fine with that. That's kind of how they want to play into this draft. Like they're just going to be like, okay, you want to run into us? That means I'm going to get a full link off.
30 seconds to
Let's see. We do know that the play, it certainly is there for Viking.
Sure is.
From what we saw in their first game.
Really nice, actually.
Does. Lane-wise, this game, Sumail definitely off to a bit of a slower start. Kezu and Aramis. However, actually get the setup onto No-Tail, straight over towards the back lines. They find themselves to kill. Kezu burning down No-Tail for the first blood. Sumail trying to take Aramis out of return. Aramis is going to have to stun back up. And Sumail, he will get the kill, has got a Fairy Fire also. So they're able to step out back to the safety of his tower.
Good look down, but they've slowed down Sumail decently. He's 14 last hits. He's doing better than the Spectre, though, which is pretty big.
That's true. Shad definitely having a tougher time, as we have come to see from him, each game really this series, Seb and Saxa, not making things easy for Shad on the first few waves of the game.
No, and look at Chad again. Like, he is just getting hit and hit and hit, and that was without even an acid spray being thrown down from Seb.
On top, No-Tail.
No-Tail again.
Not a whole lot he can do apart from maybe look for a denies the creeps, and he will get it.
Okay.
So creeps take him out, kills himself to the stack.
2 heroes, he should just be fine. And here we go.
And straight in. Get the wraparound, set up onto Topson. TP's coming in to try and help out the Razor. Saxa catch Aramis here with the stun. Topson, he's got the movement speed to get out across the trees. Won't be able to finish Topson off, as Topson's able to start bottling back up. Boom, Aramis and Celery have to be a little careful, even with the exorcism out. 3 of them rather low on the HP and the mana.
And the thing is, too, like, they went before the enemy siege creep had died already, so their siege is now just going to walk into tower and die, and they got pretty much 0 damage on tower with that exorcism. Instead of going for the kill there, I think if they were a little bit more patient, they just go for tower push.
And that's
now Celery.
He's going to be able to get himself a freebie, catching Celery in the river. Topson's able to swing back in, get the kill. As you say, you look at the tower, only about...
May seem small, but it's quite massive when we're talking about how they have to play with their DK and their Death Prophet Exorcism at its maximum in this game so that they don't just get out farmed again, like Game 2.
We'll see what Boom does now. Exorcism ready to go again. It's got to achieve more than it did the first time round.
They're going to be ready, though. Like, OG's going to be so ready for this movement. The D-Ward's going to come out from Aramis to level 3 Lion, level 4 Abaddon. They're getting much more out of the map because Viking supports are just sitting there. They're sitting there waiting for the opportunity to go for this exorcism push, but OG's like, okay, you guys play your game, which is kind of doing nothing at this point, and we'll play ours of farming efficiently with our stacks. And look at the Drow's HP. It's like, you look at the heroes on Viking, you're like, oh, they have decent burst damage with Finger, Breathe Fire, Dagger, etc. Now he's got a free ag in him, so on Strength Shreds, he's 1700 HP. It's like not even a Drow Ranger anymore at this point, who was just sitting at 800 HP before this, or 900 HP on Agi Treads.
Yeah, and your biggest burst really is the Finger. Other than that,
it is the Finger.
It's going to rely on Viking and being able to stay on top of the Drow. Drow, Sumail, he's got the best save in the game. He's going to have No-Tail behind him. No-Tail's hit the 6. It's not easy to get on top of Sumail's Drow. No-Tail is going to be able to do a solid job of saving him. As you mentioned at the start, there isn't a hero like that Clockwork that was so crucial for Viking in terms of catching No-Tail in game 1. Mid lane, look at the setup onto Aramis. They're going to come over the Hawk, look towards Saxa. Saxa corner the river, but the false promise comes out. Saxa will live a little longer. He's going to look for the TP back to base. He's back into the fountain. Shad's going to end up getting taken down as OG just kite him up. Sumail stands on the high ground, take him out. 3 heroes dead. That was another attempt with the exorcism. I mean, and an attempt that just falls flat on its face here from Viking. Game 2, that started to look pretty much impossible for Viking at the 20 or so minute mark. already 12 minutes in, it really does feel like the plan that Viking came into this match with has sort of been lost completely. Very early timing of 12 minutes in. He is just having a great time, and already, early days in the qualifier, first series for these two teams, but I think a lot of the squads will be watching this from OG, and this whole idea, Seb on the out, getting that early axe towards Samael. You've got to wonder, how many times are we going to see this? How many times are we going to see this get let through? Is this something that teams are going to feel they have to take away from OG? Because the two games we've seen it so far, it's looking pretty simple for OG.
Agreed. I think they definitely have to have thought of something else there, especially if they didn't, with the AA axe, if they weren't able to deal with it, and then they left it again this time, it's a concern. 9K lead, OG getting to do pretty much whatever they want on the map. Okay, so blink on DK. So they got to go again. You can't just sit back. The thing is, you have to make these moves happen anyway on Viking. Even though it didn't work this last time, I think you have to smoke, try to get on Notel with this blink on Kezu, and then go for the rest of the targets. And Celery just is dead.
Yep, Samael's pretty much level 12, so the damage from him is going to be pretty outrageous, hitting these early levels of just at the 14 minutes. As you say, when is this Spectre going to be a threat? Now, what is Shad going to be able to offer?
Notel?
Against the heck? All right, well, that's a free one.
He was on the enemy high. He was in the trees in the enemy.
All right.
He just last hit a range creep and then just got jumped. That's Kezu, though.
He's ready with the buyback. He's going to come with the buyback. They've got the concoction down on Kezu. It certainly looks to be it. The gust comes out to Aramis. Seb going to actually have the damage there to finish off the Lion. So Bait won't grant them any instant kills. Thompson does still manage to sweep him from the side. They will get Aramis. Thompson, he's even looking to dive in for more. He's got the link in onto Celery. It will back off with the fortification pop. The damage from the tower starting to kick in. Thompson steps away. Not looking to make the mistakes that were made in the first game of the series. Yeah. I guess that was the plan from Notel all along.
Double hit is no joke with Desolate either.
Absolutely not.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Tier 2 taken out. Outpost getting claimed. 50, dude, the gold lead just is getting it's getting too big too fast. He's almost worth 3 heroes now, Owen.
Sweeping up, they know that some of Vikings up and not the full squad, just the three of them. Boom, Aramis and Kezu. See how carefully they keep themselves hidden. Seb, he's ready to charge in. He's in, jump forwards, look towards Aramis. They are able to tank at the stun off, so Seb won't be able to throw out the concoction. Are still able to catch Aramis within the AoE though, as Aramis will try his best to hide into the trees. Kezu's going to look for the TP out. Is he able to get out in time? He is. Not quite enough damage to bring down Kezu, as Kezu will escape. Aramis, on the other hand, will not. They take down the Lion. Kezu manages to live another day here.
Yeah, OG just continues to have all this control.
Radiant's top tower.
It's really just Shad getting farm, and it's a huge concern when your Death Prophet's not able to keep getting this scale and going. Sure, she's got plate mail. Sure, she's got Yules, and sure. They're kind of splitting up though a bit on OG. I do feel like Viking could punish a little bit when they do see like everyone on the map. Like they just saw 3 heroes showing, but let's see if they can.
They can do it, and with the finger, but the false promise comes out.
There.
Thompson is going to be able to get out to the side. Seb's heading over as well. Notel actually going to be able to be saved here by the gust coming out to Shad, and they're ready to turn. Thompson pretty much back up to full HP. They've controlled Boom. The DP is gone as they save Thompson even like that. As you said, that sort of one chance where maybe they catch a member of OG out on their own. They could not quite do it. They just do not have the firepower.
I'm glad they at least tried for it. I think if they were a little bit quicker when they noticed that everybody was split up, because I think the ward that they have in the OG jungle, it saw the Lina for a second, and I think they saw like the Alchemist for a sec. That's why they go for this jump, but I think they hesitated a little bit too much. Notel, he saw it coming too. Gets the TP off. It was clutch by Notel, but yeah, game continues to just be pretty much impossible for poor Viking. That's all their ults for the 3rd time expended, and they can pretty much get nothing out of it again. They're in just complete mode chill. It's almost satanic on Thompson. Seb has almost got the next Ags done. Everyone's just chilling. I mean, it is 2-9. It is 22,000 gold lead. We do have that 1K per minute that has been hit, which is usually the signs of GG.
Pretty insane numbers indeed.
I think Sox is having the funnest game. This is probably like the funnest 4-position game ever. You literally have like no weight on your shoulders at all. You're just farming. You're just farming, playing your own game. No worries.
She's going to be pretty much aware that Viking's looking for action. Maybe not aware enough though. Samael. He's put the glass. They do still get him with the Dragon Tail stun. See if there's going to be any backup in time for Smell. There isn't. They get on top of the Drow. They bring him down. See if they can get more out of this. They turn over towards Toxin. Toxin just frontlining it, but the damage is too high. He charges straight back in. And just like that, Viking, against a 20k gold lead of OG, they've just taken down 2 cores plus no tail. I mean, against the odds here, Viking showing they've still got it to tackle OG despite the strength of their cores. Mispositioning costing OG everything there, as maybe Viking can still pull something out against this incredible lead that OG has had for the first 20 minutes of the game. With the lead that they have, it's still, it is rather comfortable.
It is still.
But definitely shaken up a little bit there, and having to maybe give a bit more respect to what Viking can still do despite the heavy gold deficit that they're playing with.
And maybe not showing like 3 different lanes when the ultis are up. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like the Viking cooldowns are pretty long, so as long as you're not split up on that timing of when they're all up, you should be pretty okay on OG. It's only if you get caught out when everything is up as they quickly eviscerate a Roche. That's going to be the Berserk Potion, I believe, for the Alchemist, and also the Shard taken for the Drow.
They're ready to get themselves back in action. Celery borrowed time still on cooldown.
It's definitely time to approach high ground. Ult's still on cooldown for a slight moment. I think Honky at 20 seconds. Have the Ags as well on this Razor, so he can pop out that ulti as soon as his tower goes down to go for the Raxes if he'd like to. And Seb is always sitting behind with that Berserk Potion. So 2 different forms of save now on the side of OG. Massive wraparound. Look at Viking right now.
It was these sort of moves that did hit the hardest in game 1.
They're pinging No Tail. They know his positioning, even though he's Shadow Amuleted right now.
See what they can do. They come out with a hold, look towards him straight away. They get the jump in over towards No Tail. No Tail is going to be able to be pushed over to the side. No Tail will survive here, but they have brought down Samel. The watch. They'll try and surround him. Boom. Committing him with the BKBs. Got the siphons as well. Healing himself back up. No Tail with the self-false promise will live a little longer. The buyback coming out as Aramis. He's able to lead in onto Samel with the stun. Shad getting beat down hard by Saxa though, as Shad has to retreat up to the high ground. Samel's able to turn, take out Aramis. The light strike away from Saxa catches the 2 of them. 4 dead on Viking. As 3 of them without buyback. OG, they can push on, start to do the damage to the base. They should and can look to close this. Onto the tier 4s. Viking without the buybacks. Very little to be done about this. As they tried their best to hit back whilst they were as far behind as they were, it just didn't come close to mattering whatsoever, as OG able to still finish them off here at the fast timing of 27 minutes. Low kills but high farm and a very high lead here for OG. 32k lead they end it with. As with that, the series is theirs. OG, they'll be taking